So the Russians had another bad night. Ukrainians just keep coming. And why does it matter? Because every oil refinery that's taken offline means thousands of truckloads of oil don't make it to the front line. That's what's important here. So let's start with this. Ukraine's drone campaign knocked offline up to 40% of Russia's oil refining capacity. Now look at that up to. This is in the Kyiv Post, so I'm not making this up. Up to 40%. Now my estimates are in the low 30s. I've seen estimates of 37%. I've seen estimates of 38% now. Just be conservative. Let's say 33, 34%. That's still a lot. A third of Russian oil refining capacity at least is offline. Russian oil refining capacity, spiking fuel prices, shortages nationwide, hitting motorists, and possibly Kremlin stability alike. But it's also making it harder and harder for it to get to the front lines where it can do damage. Drones have struck Russia's largest oil refinery, the Knef plant. Now, Knef is actually the short name for this 20-letter monstrosity of a name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. It's located more than 800 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. It's one of the largest oil refineries in Russia. It's been hit before. This is not the first attack on the refinery. It was previously targeted in March and in September. After the last strike, the plant was forced to shut down a unit that provided 40% of its capacity. Now, each time they hit a plant, like if it has 5% of total capacity, it might have only taken 2% offline rather than all 5%. But that's okay. They can keep coming, and they know that there's not air defense around it. Second AVT-6 unit may have been damaged during tonight's drone attack on Russia's Knef oil refinery. If so, it would mean the plant has lost another 38% of its total refinery capacity. There are certain things that they want to go after. These AVT units are really critical to the oil being refined. Knef oil refineries, you can see it on NASA firms data that it's on fire. During Ukrainian drone strike, one of the largest refineries, a local woman filmed the chaos in the strike and gave a highly intellectual commentary. We're going to look at this commentary, and you can hear the drones coming in. You won't see anything. Blank, something's flying over there. That blank, the blank is flying right over. Oh, I'm going to have to edit significantly here. There's going to be an explosion probably. Look at that. You can see the thing coming in. God, please, not the house. Well, they're not aiming for your house. I can tell you that. They're aiming for a refinery. Blank. Where the blank are they even coming from? And you hear the explosion. Where the blank did they come from? Who the blank is launching this? Where are these things coming from? I've got ideas. Pretty sure I know. Hear all those in the... This is blanked, guys. I mean it. Ukraine needs to be wiped off the face of the earth. Okay, so she's figured out where it's come from. Okay. Now, Ukraine also went after two air defense systems, a P-14F Lena long-range radar near an air base, and the Sopka-2 tracking radar, both in Voronezh region. Both systems were designed to counter Ukrainian drones, but they were taken out by Ukrainian drones, which is fascinating. Okay, Ukrainian General Staff also claims that in the Kursk region, defense forces struck a Garmin radar system and transport loading vehicle from the Iskander missile complex. So that's off the map. And then they also took out a Buk air defense system destroyed during one of the drone attacks in Rostov region. Look at this with the missiles on it. This is what it actually looks like. It's one of these things that can launch these missiles. So every time they hit one of these missiles are not killing Ukrainian defenders, or these radars are off the battlefield and then more drones can come in. That's why this is important. Hey, listen, by the way, before I get to what happened with the ship, if you're getting some value out of this, please hit the like. I appreciate it. If you want to see what's happening tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll tell you what happens tonight, tomorrow, if you just hit subscribe. Okay, they also went after a ship. A ship, yep, that's right. Special Operations Forces struck a Russian missile ship, Grad, in Lake Onega. The vessel was moving from the Baltic Sea to the Caspian Sea, which they aren't close, but I'll show you how they got there. The strike impacted the starboard side of the ship's engine compartment. So the ship's not sunk, it's damaged. The damaged Grad is one of Russia's newest and most modern ships, commissioned into the Baltic Fleet in December of 29th of 2022. Like that, I mean, that's new, right? Now, how's it get there? Well, here's where it is. It's in the lake. The Baltic Sea is over here, St. Petersburg, and then it's in the lake, and it's going down to the Caspian Sea. How's it doing that? Well, it moves by the Volga-Baltic waterway, which connects the Baltic Sea to the Volga River, and then taking the Volga-Don Canal, the Don Canal, which flows into the Sea of Azov, and finally into the Caspian Sea. So this is the route by which it goes. So it's going down that way. Okay. So now what are the Russians doing to the Ukrainians overnight? 109 drones, Shahed, Gerber, and others, 3 Iskander ballistic missiles. Ukraine's air defense intercepted or suppressed 73, but 3 missiles and 36 drones hit 21 locations. Now, last night wasn't bad. The night before was pretty bad, but it wasn't even in the top 10. Like if we just look at this was the night before when it was 400 something. Like these are in the 600 range, and there's lots of that. There's some in 5, and here's in 4, right? So yeah, but did it do damage? Certainly. Russian forces struck a railway station in Sumy Oblast twice. The first strike hit a locomotive of a suburban train. 3 children and a railway cashier were among those injured. The moment the Russian Shahed drone struck a passenger train, we're going to hear it. I'm going to stop before we hit the explosion. But you know that's what's coming in, and you can see it right here coming in. Yeah, and it's just about to go up. And that's what it looked like on the other side. Part 109. Part of the 109 drone and 3 missile barrage that killed 1 and injured 33, including children. Yep, that's what was happening last night. Russia also launched a massive drone strike on Chernihiv overnight. 50,000 people without electricity. Emergency crews are working to restore power. And then Russians are also attacking homes in Konstantinivka. Like, again, that building wasn't doing anything to Russia. Civilians were sleeping there, but that's what happened. Overnight on the battlefield, 950 Russians off the battlefield. A little low, but not by too much. 1 tank, 1 armored fighting vehicle, 15 artillery systems, 73 vehicles, and fuel tanks. And then in the Pokrovsk direction, about 39 assaults. And again, that's correlated to the little bit lower number than usual. Right now, this is interesting. Russia's Ministry of Defense falsely claimed that Kupiansk was captured. So, soldiers were ordered to wear civilian clothes to create the illusion. The result was widespread friendly fire as troops can't identify each other. Ukraine still controls the town with a 10-to-1 kill ratio. Now, that 10-to-1 is not widespread over the entire land, just in this small little pocket where they were lying about what they actually controlled for some kind of PR stunt. Okay, I'll leave you with this. This is the workshop of the Electronic Warfare Unit of the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade. Electronic warfare fighters jam enemy drones, disrupt their navigation and communication, and when needed, suppress the enemy electronic warfare to clear the sky for UAVs. They also repair, reconfigure, and upgrade equipment to keep it battle ready. Now, when I was thinking of a workshop, I was thinking of military armaments, but that's not what the battlefield looks like. It's all about drones now. And my very next video, subscribe if you haven't, my very next video is going to be just about drones and just some technologies that are going to blow your mind. I promise you that at least 2 of the 5 will blow your mind. Shout out to Juha Salmian, a graduate student, and my YouTube members. And thank you, folks. Thank all of you for being the kind of person that is willing to listen to this, subscribe, put the comments below. I try to read as many as I can, but thank you more than anything for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.